from a skill perspective. It's like, I'm trying to show them the shot. Could they eventually figure this out? Like, do they have it within them to get it? That's number one. Then number two is like, can they?
I use this example because I've coached a lot, but then I used this concept with my kids is, especially my wife, because she doesn't get anything, is when you're to me there's three things that will get someone that makes them coachable. Okay. So one is like this is, I mean, more like as a coach or a parent being aware of these things.
Sorry, let me just clarify.
Yeah.
You're saying as the coach, there's three things that you
should recognize
in a kid
when you're teaching.
Okay.
Not even a kid, when you're teaching.
Okay.
Like you could be a manager of a sales department.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always think there's three things. One is if you're teaching someone, they may not have the ability, right? So that's one thing. If they have the ability, okay, that's good. Number two, they just don't understand what you're saying, or they just don't get it. So let's say, use it from the hockey perspective, is they just don't have the I just can't do, or I can't figure that out. I don't know what you mean, right? And desire would be in there as well. No, that's the next one, would be desire. So you could be dealing with someone that doesn't even care to get better or to learn.
So sorry, say the three things again.
Ability.
Yeah.
The ability to understand, like and understanding a concept.
So having like the physical ability, number one, having the ability to understand, number two.
Yes.
And then do they even want
the ability to want it?
Yeah, right.
The desire.
Yeah.
So you deal with that a lot. So I use an example of me, not as a hockey player, but when I got stepped out of the hockey world, I went into a sales role with a big company. Okay. Everybody, oh man, you're going to be good at this. You can talk to anybody. Okay. The next part is so this is neat. The next part is that I didn't really understand the process of what we were doing. I just wanted to make the money. And so I didn't really understand. I knew what I could have had. There was huge money to be made. But so basically the bottom line is I was mid-20s, dumb, just wanted to get out there. You had a stack of leases. I could go walk in your office and just, if I understood how the leasing worked, I could walk in and say, Eric, same product or a better product, it'll cost you, bottom line was that it cost you the same or less. You would get a new thing, make no difference in your life. I would make money. But I didn't understand the process of the leasing. Could I have figured out the leasing and how to really do this if I was really engaged? Of course I could. I'm not an idiot. I'm actually a fairly intelligent dude. Look at my glasses.
Nice.
Right?
You can tell by the glasses.
Yeah, you can tell by the glasses. So what it comes down to is that I didn't really care about that field. I was more pissy at that time in my life that I wasn't in my hockey world. So it was like I wanted to happen.
So you think you had the ability, like you had it within you. You could have done it. You could have done a good job, like from the skill set perspective, you had it, which I would agree.
Can I pick up a phone and call someone? Yes. Can I walk into an office and basically make conversation? Yes. Did I want to do well? Yeah. But I didn't have, I think my first flaw in that was I didn't have the real burning desire to learn. I didn't care enough about being really successful in that business. So I didn't care enough to actually figure it out. So when you're talking to a player, and this is where I've dealt with this so many times as a coach, is, okay, Eric, you have the ability. Okay, I can see that. So if I show you, or if we talk about something, I might not have to correct you. So I don't really have to spend a lot of time. Or I see a tweak that I need to make and I can, right? So I see the tweak. You have the ability to do it. Okay, now you just don't understand what I'm saying. So let's just say it's not a hockey concept. Let's just say it's a shooting. I could tell that, okay, so let's say in shooting that when you're shooting a puck, your puck comes past your heels and it's telegraphed. Okay. So I'm doing my best to tell you. So don't understand it could be from two reasons. One, you you don't get what I'm talking about. But number two could be I'm not explaining it well enough to you. So there could be a huge frustration because I'm trying to tell you, man, like just do this, but the words and the way I'm presenting it to you doesn't jive, right? So that could be the coach's fault, or it could be like you just can't grasp it. So it goes both sides. So from a coach, the ability to have good coaching cues and to be clear, concise, um, is huge. Is huge. Because sometimes a kid will never get it. Like so a lot of times, like where you talk about overcoaching, could be that you put a four paragraph sentence together when it could be toes to the net, hands in front of you, right? Push down on the stick instead of using all these fancy terms. So because a lot of times you use all these big words, fancy terms, long sentences, and stuff like that, and it looks like you know what you're talking about, but sometimes that's just a facade for not knowing what you're talking about to sound good. Yeah, facade.
Facade
means like something.
That's a good word,
right? Or disguise.
Yeah.
And it's not your language, so that's on me now, right? Because you could be trying. So
okay, so like, can I sharpen those up?
Sure.
That was.
And then the last part is like you have to care enough. So I can like so let me go stick on the second one. Don't get it. I, as a coach, as a parent or whatever, have to have the ability to reach everybody, like to you. Like I have to be able to make sure that I'm on point to give the information, because if I don't, now I'm just a frustrating human. Does that make sense? Then the last piece to that would be when you're working with a player or a player working with a coach, and there's someone that doesn't care at the same level, that's a whole different thing. So now you could be like, as a coach, if I'm working with someone that just doesn't care, so like back to my sales world, the manager could have sat there every day and told me how great I was, how much ability I have, and if you do this, it's like, yeah, but I don't care. Not that I don't care, but I don't care enough. I don't care enough. So I, as a coach now, if I'm going against someone that just doesn't care enough, you're trying to chop a redwood tree down with a ball peen hammer. What a piece of frustration this is. So at that point, you have to say, here's the information, take it, and now it's on you, right? So that could be system, skill, because a lot of people are pretenders too. They want to be there just to be there. They want to do enough to stay around. When you ask a guy if they're a team guy, are they really a team guy? Will they do anything for a team, or will they do the things for themselves? So it's like, that's a long sentence I just said.
No, that's good. I want to just touch it quick just to make sure I get what you're saying. So first thing I want to touch on before I do that is the whole idea of like, you can't make kids want it. Like you can't make them want to know or want to be better or whatever. And that's been such a learning, just for me personally, that has been just such a learning process. And like you say this to me all the time, right? Where it's like, I've come to you in the office and be like, man, like I'm feeling a little frustrated, or like I'm disappointed, or I feel like I should still give this an extra thing. And you'll say to me, you'll just be like I'm telling you this, like, don't get your hopes up. Like, don't think like your level of care, almost like there's a little bit of naivete to me.
We're going French
Yeah,
now?
I know.
Sorry, for all people, we're switching to French here.
Français.
Naivete.
I know. So maybe there's like a little bit of me being naive because I'm still early in like the coaching journey.
Well, okay, I'm going to say yes, that's very true. But the other thing is that, which is a credit to you, is you love it.
Yes.
And you want to see the best for that person, but that's the frustrating part.
That's exactly what I mean, right? So as a coach, I'm sitting here like, wow, I really care. Wow, I really want to help you. Wow. And it's like,
you can be great.
And it's like, I feel like I can make you reach that. I can make you get it. I can make you have the light bulb go off. And I feel like with some kids, maybe that push can help. But to your exact point is like, some kids, they just don't have it, man. And that's one thing like that I've come to grips with probably in the last few years, now that I've been doing this for a long time. It's like in the last few years now, I'm just like, I'm doing my best as the coach to the level that the kid is presenting to me. And it's like that, the more you care, the more I care. It's like, that's kind of the scale now, right? So kind of to your three things point, it's like, so there's the ability that the kid has, like physically, what are they actually capable of producing? So if we take like from a skill perspective, it's like, I'm trying to show them the shot. Could they eventually figure this out? Like, do they have it within them to get it? That's number one. Then number two is like, can they comprehend my corrections? Can they actually take it? And to your point, that could either be, if they're not, it could be a mistake by you, like your communication style is not there, or it could just be like they can't, they don't have the depth, they don't have the ability to go deep enough to grasp what you're saying. So it could be either of those things, right? Because you could try explaining it 100 different ways and they just cannot figure it out, and that happens. And then the last part is that desire part. It's like, you could, maybe they have the ability, maybe they could comprehend it if they wanted to, like you in the sales job, but at the end of the day, it's like, I just don't care, you know?
You're playing pool with a rope.
Yeah, right.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You're not sinking one ball.
So